Yo, what's going on, guys? And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about EA Sports. Or not EA Sports, just EA, like, just the company in general, not just EA Sports. I have Madden up here because it's like the most popular like EA like game, in my opinion. And I'm going to be talking about why EA is the worst like gaming company and why it's just trash. So, and the gameplay is obviously Madden. I didn't. The gameplay it like stopped because it stopped. I kind of stopped it in like the middle of the game. Um, so first off, Madden. I think the worst thing about them is their mindset. Cause like we all know EA is just bad. Like they make the worst decisions and stuff. And they came out and said that they don't understand why they're known as the bad company. They just can't understand it for some reason. Um, and I guess it's legit. They don't understand because there's been videos and why they think EA doesn't understand. So their mindset went from I think from giving to greed. He used to give us really good games like back in the early days of Madden, early days of Sims, just like early like days of EA in general. Like, they used to just not be this money hungry like animal of a company. They used to actually give us decent games. They don't give us any decent games now. And they also have a terrible worth ethic because if you can turn out a game, if you can release a game year by year and different sports titles and every like different titles, and it continuously gets worse and worse, you know you're doing something wrong. Like you just know you're doing something wrong. Like they're like, how do you not understand that? You know? And one thing that separates EA now from EA in the past is microtransactions. Oh my god, microtransactions from EA is the worst. It's just overpriced, and then they make you spend it on virtual cards, and like and like an NHL and Madden and like everything. And then if you don't pay money, then you're not gonna get as much coins or anything to actually like win like a game or something, And then they like to bring back let's say they used to bring back, I think it was like this type of like career mode. Like they used to kind of have like face of the franchise, but I think it was like back in like Madden 09 or 06, I can't remember. And they brought it back like this past year, and they're calling it something new. Like they just bring back old stuff and then they call it like different. They call it like differently. Like draft it, like I think it's like called Mutt Draft or something. It used to be called Draft Champions. So yeah, and also one my least favorite part of EA is probably is how they buy the small companies who like they're not as money hungry as some like say like the big dogs like EA, because why EA is so like money hungry is because they're up there with the big dogs now. They used to be a small company. Now EA is buying small companies that are producing good games and they're ruining it. Like I've been doing my research like before this video. Like okay, let's name off a few. NUFX, NBA Street. They used to make back in the 90s NBA Street. I watched some gameplay while I was doing this research, and that game looked cool. Like there's like 2K makes NBA Street. Like honestly, like it's kind of like if you play 2K, because 2K is owned by 2K. If you play like a blacktop, like NBA Street is just like that, except way better. They have different stuff. You can play with NBA players like Michael Jordan to because it ended in I think the early 2000s. Like you could literally make like your own character, or there's some like bosses or something. Like you could play as Michael Jordan. Let's say you go up against some guy like named Jaquavius. Like you can do that. Like you could do that. Like it was really cool. And another one is Pandemic, I think it's called. And they used to make the original Star Wars Battlefront games, like one of the greatest video game franchises of all time. And then like you see the new ones, like they rebrought it back, Battlefront and Battlefront 2. which they brought back, and it was promising. Battlefront 1, or like the first like one they brought back, it was actually kind of pretty. It was pretty good actually, like because they just started it back up, and it came out in 2015. You know, EA wasn't as corrupt back in 2015 as they are now. Battlefront 2 came out I think in like 2017, and they just took like the original Battlefront. They added a couple new like characters, and then they riddled it with microtransactions. Like, it's just terrible. And then Black Box Games, Need for Speed. They used to make incredible games. Like, the old ones, they're one of the, if not the best racing games of all time. And then nowadays you see Need for Speed, like they brought it back, like Need for Speed Payback, like the new one. There's like another new one that came out this year. It's just the animations, everything, the drive, they just don't care. It's just terrible. Another one is DICE, Battlefield. Battlefield used to make like other games, like back in the early 2000s, and they used to really like compete with COD, like they really used to. And then now you just see it as, now people just see Battlefield as a knockoff. Like they don't even remember like the old Battlefields, you know. And then they brought DICE in to work with the new Battlefield or Battlefront, like the Star Wars one. It's basically Battlefield except Star Wars. So yeah, that's basically like what they did. They just ruined it, you know. And like The Sims, like what I'm talking about in my next point is like The Sims. When those first like I think what are they on, like The Sims 4 or something, when those first 3 games came out, they got better each year and added new stuff each time, you know. And like what they do now is everyone was expecting for like what Sims 5 or whatever to come out. It's supposed to be even better than all the other ones. But what did EA do? Let me tell you, they added more microtransactions for clothes. Their game is riddled with DLCs. Like, if you don't buy any DLCs, you're just gonna be stuck in that regular like neighborhood that you're always in. Like, there's just, instead of adding new games and stuff and having that, it's just the same game, except like just riddled with DLCs. And so they don't want to put out a brand new game. They just make those DLCs literally the same price as the game sometimes. Like, same price, maybe even higher than the actual game itself, you know? And I see the biggest point on why EA is bad, besides the microtransactions. No, I say the biggest part, because the big microtransactions wouldn't have happened after this point that I'm about to bring up. And every game developer that doesn't do this, like 2K, like there's a lot of them that don't do it, and that's why they're so bad, is involvement with the community. You need to listen to your fans. They're the ones that support you, you know? Like, come on. Like, how are you not going to listen to your community or the fans that you built over time by creating good games? And they're telling you that it's becoming bad. They came because you made good games. They joined your community because they trusted you. And then now, you're just deteriorating every single game. Like Madden. Like, how do we have less features now than we did in like the early 2000s? Can you tell me that? Because I just don't understand, you know? And like the NCAA games, I understand why those died because of lawsuits and stuff. But like, you can at least bring some features to NCAA to like the NFL. Like there's just some features that are like there, you know? Like pre-game rituals, some teams have that, you know? And all that stuff. Because like NCAA, around that era, the early 2000s, Madden, it wasn't just about like, people weren't complaining about the realism, because the realism was there. Back in the early 2000s, you could say that sports games were fun. They were enjoyable. Not you would just smash your controller every 5 plays. It's just annoying, you know? And also, one of the biggest controversies that it came out, apparently late 2019 it came out, for the past like I think like 5 or 8 years. Well, let me start off with this. You know IGN, they give out ratings and they actually have a big part in the video game community. It's literally like your news for video games, like your only thing, like ratings where you can get information from. Well, apparently for the past 5 to 8 years, EA has been paying off IGN to give them good ratings. And that's like on the back of the boxes of the game and everything that you hear about, like all the ratings, like literally 90% of those are owned by IGN, like all those companies, and also IGN itself is there. And apparently EA has been paying them off. So, bottom line is, EA needs to they just need to stop fiddling around. They just need to get down, understand what they're doing wrong, listen to the community, stop cheating out your fans because all EA is just pre-hype, you know? Like Madden, like, oh my gosh, dude, we all buy it because early, oh my gosh, we hear, oh, wait, whoa, what? The Madden cover? Oh, who's gonna be on that? I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it, see who's on it. Let's see who's on it, you know? Like, it's just terrible, you know? Like, and they just give the ratings early, and just because there's new rookie classes, you can do that. Literally, in Madden 20, they're still gonna be adding rookie classes. You can literally play Madden 21, but for Madden 20. Because let me tell you, Madden 21 is not going to be any different. Here's how it's going to look, alright? They're still going to pay off IGN, because they still are. They're still in the middle of a lawsuit. So technically, right now, I mean, it'd be bad for their case, but they can still pay off IGN to give them good ratings. They can make a cooler cover. They can make an even cooler trailer. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to use, you know how like almost like a lot of teams have like gotten new jerseys and stuff? They're just going to use all the flashiness, everything like that, to just butter up this terrible game. They're just going to dress it up, but in the core, it's literally just Madden 20 with a better roster and some cases are better jerseys. I can't say the same for the Falcons. Those jerseys, they suck. The borderline is they need to try to add features that we'd never seen before. Try to bring back old features. Just listen, you know? Listen to the community. They brought you up here. Now listen to them so they can bring you even higher. I don't believe that in like what, the 20 years that they've been here, the quality of the games have been like worse and worse and worse, you know? Like I'm talking about Madden, you know? And just like all video games, you know? Like MLB The Show, I've only owned one game, MLB The Show 19, because I've gone over to friends' houses that have it, and every time it's just literally the same mechanics and everything. Except, you know, different rosters, because trades happen all the time. You know? And the reason why Madden doesn't, or why EA doesn't care about Madden, and it just gets worse every time, and they don't add anything, is because, like, for the past, like, 10 years, like, they've literally had the exclusive ownership of the NFL, like, in video games. And 2K is going to break that, but I wouldn't buy NFL 2K. Sure, back in the day, they were like butting heads every time. It wasn't like NBA Live versus 2K, where like 2K was significantly, you know, better than like EA was at basketball video games. No, but they used to butt heads. Like, they used to be really, really good, you know? But EA, they're even extending their contract to, like, I think another 10 years after this year. So, like, 2K, you're just going to be, like, kind of like, it's not going to be a simulator. It's just going to, what is going to be, like, play now? And then, like, basically that's it. Like, and people are, like, coming from 2K, like, NBA 2K, they're expecting, like, NFL parks. First of all, even if 2K remotely kind of had the rights to do that, which they don't, that I don't even see how that could, like, possibly work, you know? So, what I'm trying to say is, EA, if you're watching this video, which you probably aren't, but you need to fix your game. It's gone too far. Just listen to your fans. Just listen. Maybe if you go to gaming cons or something, you can pick up a few things from other games. and don't be a bunch of retards. I'm sorry for throwing out the R word, but that's what you guys are. And it gets me mad every year to see all the hype around what the next cover athlete's going to be, or what the new features are. Chances are there's going to be no new features. There hasn't been a new feature since, like, what? Actually, no, this past year, Superstar KO. But besides that, what is it? Madden 16 when they came up with Madden Ultimate Team, or like Mutt Draft or whatever. Like, that's just like, come on now. Like, and everything they add, we expect. Besides Superstar KO, I will give it that. We didn't see that coming. That was a really good thing by Madden to do. But everything else, we just expect to happen. And most of the time, doesn't even do that, you know? So, yeah, that's basically what I have to say, you know? All they do is just take from other companies, ruin, just drive it down to the ground. Just see, as long as all they do with games is they just deteriorate it year by year, get as much money out of it. Because what they do is they paint this big picture, like this game's gonna be awesome, just trailers, just everything. And then behind the scenes, they're just deteriorating the franchise, and people are buying it because they look over, like, what do I expect? Like, you know, these past few years in Madden, we haven't been getting what we wanted. Nothing's been happening. Like, franchise that died a long time ago. It hasn't been real since like 2010, 2009. Like, they just overlooked by, oh my gosh, look, Lamar Jackson's gonna be on the cover. Oh my gosh, look at this new trailer. Like, Madden 19, everyone like bought it because Antonio Brown was on the cover. And look, oh, they added the guy with the no hand. Like, come on, what? Like, people, just look at what the game, look at the core. What is it gonna do? You're just gonna complain about it again. So, that's basically all I have to say, guys. I hope you stayed to the end because I brought up some really good points. I guess I'll just leave you guys with this gameplay for a little while. I know I kept on rumbling on, but I've been holding that in for a long time, you know, about EA. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned because we're continuing the Heat series. I have some plans in the work for like more videos. I think maybe coming out tomorrow, you know. So I'll see you guys then. Peace out.
And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10. Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports halftime report. This one's been a hard-fought battle to this point. 7-0 is the score, with neither offense really able to get on track. But let's not waste any time. We'll get you right back out to Brandon and Charles for the second half.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead, now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done, they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time, and that'll bring up second down.
But it's not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Wentz will try again on second down. The Sanders has got it complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From the gun, it's Wentz. That's caught by Jackson. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game, and he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Again, it's Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Into the red zone. Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
He'll hit Jackson, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.